And from the European conservative, Kosovo and Serbia backtracking on EU brokered deal. Serbia-Kosovo relations are breaking down once again as both leaders backtrack on their endorsement of the EU-sponsored deal from February, with further talks due on Saturday, March 18th. It appears the EU is still powerless to break the long-running diplomatic deadlock, in spite of both countries' desire to join the bloc. The majority Albania and Kosovo unilaterally declared independence from Serbia in 2008. Since then, Serbia has not only refused to recognize Kosovo, it's also systematically campaigns against both Kosovo's recognition by other countries and its membership in international organizations. However, the EU's made the end of this standoff a precondition for Serbian and Kosovar membership, the likes of which Serbian national conservatives call blackmail while speaking to the European conservative. The breakthrough that appeared to loom at the end of February, in which Serbia would de facto recognize Kosovo's independence in exchange for political rights for Kosovo's Serbian minority, now looks unlikely. Speaking to Euronews, Kosovar Prime Minister Albin Kurti said that the creation of an official association of Kosovo's Serbian majority townships, a Serbian municipalities association as stipulated in the EU deal, is not acceptable to his country. He explained that Kosovo's constitution can sustain a mono-ethnic entity like the Association of Serb-Majority Municipalities. Kurti emphasized that Kosovo is a multi-ethnic society where they respect each individual in spite of their backgrounds, despite the fact that 93% are Albanians. Such promises of a tolerant multi-ethnic Kosovo don't resonate for the Serbian minority who feel besieged. In the past weeks, they've been protesting land appropriations by the Kosovo government. Last winter, they blockaded border crossings in response to Kosovo government plans to make them scrap their Serbian license plates, resulting in a crisis which saw the Serbian army placed on full alert and was only de-escalated in January. For President Vučić of Serbia, Kurti's refusal to create a Serbian Municipalities Association is a deal breaker, insisting that he would still attend the next talks because he didn't wish Serbia to appear as insane people who do not want to talk. He saw little point otherwise. Why would we be invited to join a wedding party if there's no bride and no groom? Vučić himself has also backtracked. While he endorsed the EU-sponsored deal, he also made a hardline statement against recognition, saying that there will be no surrender, no capitulation. In face of the developments, the prospects for the EU to act as peacemaker are dim for now. And as far as I'm concerned, it sounds like Serbia and their lack of recognition of Kosovo is the issue. Serbian president rules out factual or de jure recognition of Kosovo, according to Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. Serbian President Alexander Vučić has said there will be neither the factual nor de jure recognition of neighboring Kosovo under his leadership, vowing that he won't be the one to sign on to the independence of the majority ethnic Albanian former province. The statements appeared to dash diplomatic momentum after Vučić and the Kosovar Prime Minister Albin Kurti pledged their willingness in Brussels on February 27th to continue the implementation of normalization roadmap known as the Franco-German Plan. I'll not be the one who'll sign the independence of Kosovo, Vučić said on March 11th, according to local news agency Beta, adding that he'd be ashamed to circumvent Serbia. There's no surrender. We'll recognize neither the factual nor de jure independence of Kosovo, but we want peace with the Albanians. We want decent relations, he said, in Vranje, in the south of Serbia. Vučić reiterated the need for the creation by Kosovar authorities of an association of ethnic Serb municipalities to provide a forum for dialogue with the country's Serb minority, as Pristina pledged in a decade-old agreement also mediated by the European Union. Vučić suggested that the association's formation was probably being fulfilled. Pristina dragged its feet on laying the legal foundation for the organization, however, with Kurti suggesting that the ethno-nationality-based solution was not possible. Vučić on March 9th also cast doubt on Belgrade's willingness to clear the way for Kosovar admission to the United Nations or recognition for Kosovo. More than 100 countries around the world recognized Kosovo's 2008 Declaration of Sovereignty, which followed a bitter war of independence after the breakup of Yugoslavia, and has not been acknowledged by Serbia, Russia, and a handful of EU states. The head of Kosovo's liaison office in Serbia, Jedić Jasari, asserted after the late February commitments that they are a turning point on the long path of negotiations. It is crucial that the implementation of the proposal begins without delay and in good faith, Jashari told RFE-RL's Balkan service. Belgrade and Pristina have each maintained liaison offices in the other since the so-called Brussels Agreement in 2013, intended to facilitate normalization, but they don't have formal diplomatic relations. The European Union's representative to the dialogue efforts, Miroslav Lajčák, is due to Belgrade on March 13th. Vučić and Kurti are scheduled to meet in Ohrid in North Macedonia on March 18th. And from Republic World, Germany upbeat on prospect of normalization of ties between Kosovo and Serbia. Kosovo's Prime Minister Albin Kurti and Serbia's President Alexander Vučić are scheduled to meet in North Macedonia. In an interview with RFE-RL on Monday, the German ambassador of Kosovo, John Rode, expressed this belief that all European countries that have yet to recognize Kosovo will do so if progress is made in the normalization of relations between Kosovo and Serbia. Rode specifically noted that he's confident that these EU states, including Greece, Spain, Romania, Slovakia, Cyprus, will ultimately recognize Kosovo if tangible results are achieved in the ongoing normalization process. All of these recognizers have always said that if there's positive dynamic on normalization, they'll rethink their position. To me, it's more or less a slam dunk, the German diplomat, I guess it said. According to Jean Rode, the German ambassador to Kosovo, it's crucial for negotiations to finalize a proposed normalization plan that's currently under consideration. Rode emphasized the importance of not missing the opportunity to reach an agreement, as it could lead to recognition of Kosovo by European countries that have yet to do so. Kosovar Prime Minister and Serbian President are slated to meet. Kosovar Prime Minister Albin Kurti and Serbian President Alexander Vučić are scheduled to meet in North Macedonia this weekend to discuss the implementation of the EU proposal agreed upon in Brussels last month. Rode stressed that time is of the essence and that it's necessary to move beyond crisis management in order to achieve progress. He also noted that EU and the US have invested significantly in the region. The roots of the conflict between Serbia and Kosovo can be traced back to the breakup of Yugoslavia in the 90s. At the time, Kosovo was an autonomous province within Serbia, but the ethnic Albanian majority in Kosovo sought greater autonomy and eventually independence from Serbia. In response to the growing demands for independence, Serbian leader Slobodan Milosevic stripped Kosovo of its autonomous status in 1989, leading to widespread protests and unrest in 1998. The Kosovo Liberation KLA, a militant Albanian separatist group, began an armed insurgence against Serbian security forces in Kosovo. The conflict escalated in 1999 when NATO launched a bombing campaign against Serbia in response to the Serbian crackdown on ethnic Albanians in Kosovo. The bombing campaign ended with withdrawal of Serbian forces from Kosovo and the establishment of the United Nations Interim Administration Mission in Kosovo, which oversaw the administration of Kosovo until its declaration of independence in 2008. Since then, Serbia has refused to recognize Kosovo's independence and maintains that Kosovo is still a part of Serbia. This has led to ongoing tensions and occasional outbreaks of violence between the two sides, including in 2018 when Kosovo imposed a 100% tariff on Serbian goods, leading to a breakdown in talks aimed at normalizing relations between the two sides. And we'll have more news when we return.